Maybe you had to spend a year developing email templates, or you had to hire expensive lawyers to draft just the right contracts. Then explain that they won't have to because you're just going to include the tool for them. Way back then, I had to spend _________________________________________________________________________________________________________ to figure out an efficient way to handle this problem. But I don't want you to have to recreate the wheel. I've already got proven ___________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________. Sound cool? When you use this tool, not only do you save the time and money I spent to develop it, but you also save what could be months or years of wasted time and money because you'll be doing it right the first time. There's no trial and error period. As we've done in other sections, here I mention any false beliefs they may have about the tools or their abilities to use them, and I quickly break and rebuild those belief patterns. This is where the magic starts happening. Show the stack slide again with the masterclass on top and the tools on the second line. Then update the total value price at the bottom to show what the offer is now worth. 39. Introduce tangible byproduct number 1, related to secret number 1. Here you introduce the next component of the offer they'll receive when they invest. It's the tangible byproduct you identified previously. When you invest today, you're also going to get access to ________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________Here you talk again about the pain and cost you had to go through to create this first byproduct. I had to go through _____________________________________________________________________________________________________________________ to get _________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________as a special bonus. Whatever the pain and cost was to you doesn't matter, because the bonus is going to make it easier and faster for them to get results. This bonus is going to make it faster and easier for you to ___________________________________________________________________________________________________underscore. As we've done in other sections, here I discuss any false beliefs they may have about the bonus or their abilities to use it. Then I quickly break and rebuild those belief patterns. Do you see how this works now? You mention an element, then add it to the stack. Mention another element and add it to the stack. Sometimes you may feel you're getting repetitive, but that is the key. It helps your audience understand the offer completely. The first few times I did this, I felt silly each time I re-stacked it. But after I added it, and started closing 300% more people during my presentations, I quickly stopped feeling silly. This is the key to success when selling to the masses. 44.53. Introduce your other two tangible byproducts. Repeat steps 39 through 43 for your second and third tangibles. Show the pain and costs you had to go through to create it, then show the ease and speed of use this will create for them. Break any false beliefs, then stack again. After you've done that for the second and third tangibles, you have your full stack slide. I call this the big stack slide, because it has the entire contents of your offer, including the value of each piece. You also want to total everything up and have the value be 10 times as much as the actual price will be. If the value doesn't reach that level, consider adding something more valuable to your offer. It should look something like this. I call this the big stack slide, because it has the entire contents of your offer, including the value of each piece. You also want to total everything up and have the value be 10 times as much as the actual price will be. If the value doesn't reach that level, consider adding something more valuable to your offer. It should look something like this. Stop and wait for them to indicate yes. They've now said yes 3 times when you ask them if what you are selling is actually worth the total value, usually a 10-time markup. Now when you discount the price to what you're actually selling it for, they are getting a 90% discount from what they believe, and have said, it's worth. I like to use the "I had two choices" close at this point because it gets them to agree that you should charge them more in order to make the program better. I had two choices with this. I could go as cheap as possible and try to sell as many as possible. But the problem with that is I couldn't really stack on the value for you. So I decided to go with a second option, which obviously requires a slightly higher investment on your side. But in exchange for that, we can dedicate more time, energy, and resources to help guarantee your success. 57. What would the end result be worth? Before you reveal the actual price, ask them what the end result would be worth to them. So if you had a successful funnel today that was making you money, what would it be worth to you? And then I stop and wait for them to answer that question in their minds. How much would you pay to have that one successful funnel? And then I stop and wait for them to think about it for a few seconds. You can probably see why people pay $_ for a similar result from me, because it's not a cost, it's an investment. 58. Price drop. Now I come back to the full price I showed them right before the if/all statements. You've already seen how it's worth $____________________________________ And even at $_________________________________, which I charge the public, it's a great deal. But because of $______________________________, I'm going to give you a very special offer. Here is the first time you reveal the actual price. Tell them the real price and give your first call to action, asking them to click on a button, go to a certain website, or call a phone number. Every slide after this will have a call to action link, so when they are ready, they can sign up. For years, I ended my sales presentations with the price on the last slide. As I gained experience, I realized that the elements that come after the initial price reveal are vitally important to closing the sale. So we give the initial price, and some people will still have sticker shock. I need to let that price marinate for a while as I justify why it's actually not that expensive. My first price justification is usually related to either showing them what the full price would be outside of the current presentation or comparing it to the price of other options for getting a similar result, apples versus oranges. Full price example. Now let me put this into perspective for you. If you went to my regular website right now, you could buy this same product for $$________________________________________________________________________________ But because you've invested this time with me, and you've proven that you really want to get this result, I'm making a special offer just for this webinar. Apples versus oranges example. If you were to hire a professional to do this for you, it might cost $________________________________________________________________. But because you're learning how to do it yourself and I'm giving you all the tools and resources to make it happen fast, you only pay $_____________________________________________________________________________________________________ So at this point you have two choices they can make. So at this point you have two choices. Choice number one is to do nothing. If you do nothing with the information you've learned over the last hour, what will you get? Nothing. Or you can choose to take a leap of faith. Just test it out to see if it will work for you. Then I reveal that it's okay if it doesn't work for them, because they're covered with our 30-day money-back guarantee. They can test drive it now and see if it will work for them. They have nothing to lose. Now that they know they have nothing to lose, I like to make their choice as simple as possible. Help them see that this really is a no-brainer. The real question is this: is it worth gambling a few minutes of your time to check this out? Even if it only does half of what I've claimed today, it will pay for itself as soon as __________________________________________________________________________________________________________ Next I show them the big stack slide one last time, with everything they're going to get and the total value. I go through each element line by line one last time to cement the offer in their minds before my final pitch. The two most valuable tools in marketing are urgency and scarcity. Here you're going to add a bonus upgrade that's only available right then. You can create urgency and scarcity by offering something special to a certain number of people, or for a certain amount of time, or both. Do not skip this part. It is the key to getting people to buy immediately. If they leave the webinar, the chances of them coming back and buying later are almost zero. In fact, I usually give a bonus only for those who are actually on live that I don't offer to those who only watch the replays later. That encourages people to show up live, but it also gives them a reason to sign up before the presentation is over. The deadline is the key. This is the slide I end my presentation with, and it stays up during the entire question and answer session. There are a few key components to this slide. Recap of the offer. Countdown clock for 30 minutes, price. Call to action. Then it's time to answer questions. Sometimes I'll take questions live from the audience, and other times I'll actually pre-write many of the questions I know people typically have. I then go through those questions, and give another call to action after each one. That gives me lots of opportunities to repeat the link for people to buy. I also try to think about any other false beliefs they may still have, then use our sentence, "You're probably thinking right?" And that is the stack. That single concept has made me more money than anything else I've ever done in this business. Study it. Master it. There is no greater gift I could give you than this. Secret number 16: Trial closes. I use two types of closes in my presentations. The first type, trial closes, I use almost every 60 seconds or less. The other I use throughout the stack. You'll want to use both kinds in your presentations as well. Let's take a look at each of them and how they work. Trial closes. Years ago, I had heard rumors of a guy nicknamed the Pied Piper of real estate. His real name is Ted Thomas, and he is a real estate speaker famous for being so good at selling from the stage that he would have hundreds of people line up behind him, waving their credit cards in the air and walk with him to the back of the room to buy his program. One day I had the chance to witness this in person, and it was one of the coolest things I had ever seen. A few years later, I was speaking at an event and noticed that Ted was in the audience. I was so nervous. One of the best closers in the world was about to watch me try to close this room. I did my best to ignore the butterflies in my stomach and delivered a pretty good presentation. While I did get a lot of sign-ups, I didn't get a huge table rush. After my presentation, Ted introduced himself and invited me to lunch. As we ate, he started asking me casual questions. After a few minutes, he started to grin. I asked him why he was smiling. He laughed and said, "What's your head doing right now?" I realized I was nodding my head up and down, and had been since the moment we started talking. He said, "What I've been doing is a little technique I call trial closes. I've been asking you dozens of little yes or no questions where the only answer is yes. You instantly started nodding, and you didn't stop until I pointed it out just now." He then went on to explain that the reason I didn't get a table rush was because the first time I asked the audience to say yes was when I was asking for their money. When you watch me speak, you'll notice that all the heads in the audience are nodding the entire time. I am constantly asking simple questions to get people to say yes over and over again, so when I ask them to give me money at the end, they've already told me yes hundreds of times before that. I thought that was pretty cool. But to be completely honest, I thought he was oversimplifying his skills. I didn't think his trial closes could possibly have that big of an impact on sales. But I decided to test it out. At the time, I had an automated webinar that had been running profitably for 5 or 6 months. I listened to the recording and found a few dozen places where I could add in trial closes. I recorded just the trial closes and inserted them into the audio file. I didn't expect much, but what happened was amazing. That webinar went from making $9.45 per registrant to $16.50 per registrant, just by me adding in the trial closes. From that day forward, I was sold. I wrote out simple trial closes on note cards and put them around my desk. As I worked through my various presentations, every time I'd see a card, I'd use that trial close. Here are some examples of trial closes that I've used dozens of times in each of my presentations. Are you ready to get started? Are you all getting this? Is this making sense? Can you imagine if that happened to you? Who here wants a free copy of __________________________________________________________________________________________________________________ Would you like to be our next case study? You've heard them talk about this before, right? Isn't that cool? Isn't that exciting? Am I right? Can you see yourself doing underscore 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 underscore? I'm sure you've noticed this too, right? I could go on and on. It's become ingrained in how I write and speak. You've seen me using trial closes throughout this book, haven't you? See what I did there? Whoa. I did it again, didn't I? Get used to using lots of little statements that get your audience to think or say yes over and over again. The more you can get them to say yes, the more likely they will accept the epiphanies you've shared with them and the offer presented. Trial closes are a huge part of telling effective stories. The 16 closes. When you get to the end of the presentation and start the stack, there are lots of really good closes you can use. But I have 16 favorites that I use repeatedly. I don't use all of them in all presentations, but I pick a handful of those that help strengthen my argument. I already built some of my favorites into the stack for you above. I want to show you all of them though, so you can pick and choose which ones to plug into your presentations. Some will work better than others for different types of presentations. So just choose the ones that flow naturally and make the most sense. For each close below, I will briefly explain the concept, then show you how I would use that close in my own presentations. Money is good. The goal is to get people to disassociate their fear about spending money with you. Money is a tool for exchange. You spend money to get something greater in return. So I want you to think about something for a minute. What is money? A lot of people have fear about money, and even bigger fears about spending money, but you need to understand that money is good. It's just a tool that was created for exchange. Other than that, there is no real value in money. You can't use it to stay warm, you can't eat it, you can only trade it for something else that you want. Just think, everyone who exchanges money for something does it because they feel that what they are getting in exchange is greater than keeping the money or using it for something else. At least that's what I expect when I buy something. I don't actually know for sure until I do buy it and try it out, and can see the results. But my question for you is this. Would you exchange that money for those results? If the answer is yes, then you need to get started right now. And if you have any fear that it might not be what you expected, or that you might not be able to get those results, just let us know, and we'll give you your money back. Disposable income. The goal is to help them realize that they are spending the disposable income on things that aren't serving them well, and by spending that money on things that will help them grow, they will have long-term fulfillment. When you use the disposable income close, they get that they do have the money to invest. Most people in this world live paycheck to paycheck. Every couple of weeks they get paid and they pay their fixed costs like rent and food. Then there's usually some money left over. We call that disposable income. Most people are going to blow that every single month. If they have $1,000 in disposable income, they're going to spend it until it's gone. They might spend it on movies or ice cream or travel, all short-term pleasures that are gone in an instant. But the cool thing is that money replenishes. Every 2 weeks, boom. There's another $1,000 in disposable income they can spend. Most people spend that cash on things that don't really add value to their lives in a meaningful way. What you're trying to do is help them spend their money on something valuable that will move you forward toward one of your goals. You should be investing that money into products, programs, and services. That's the power of disposable income. It comes back. Every 2 weeks, boom. There's more money. Money replenishes. The goal for this close is to help people realize that while each month money comes back, time does not, and if they're not careful, they will run out of time. Do you think it's okay to dip into your savings or leverage your credit and spend money you might not have to get started today? This is a serious question. Do you think it's okay or not? Some people say yes and some say no. Let's talk about this for a minute. Every month, money replenishes, right? But this is the key: time does not replenish. It disappears. So you could go out and spend months or years of your valuable time to figure something out, but you will never get that time back. Instead, you could save that time and effort, because I've already spent it for you, and work directly with me instead. It will cost you money to get started, but that money will come back, whereas the time away from your family in trial and error is wasted effort and is gone forever. Break old habits. The goal for this close is to help them realize that if they leave today without investing, nothing in their life will change. Habits are really hard to change. I could leave the webinar right now and go enjoy the rest of the afternoon. I'm already successful with underscore. This is already working for me. But this is not about me. This is about you. If you leave now, you might think you learned a lot of cool stuff, but my guess is that by morning tomorrow you'll have already slipped back into your normal routines. Right. You just do what you've always done. That's what most people do. But because I'm your coach, your friend, your mentor, I'm not going to let you go back to your old habits. I'm going to make sure you're successful by breaking them. If you want real, lasting change, you need repeated exposure to the full system. That's what you'll get when you invest today. Information alone. My goal for this close is to help them understand that, while they have gotten some awesome information, they can't rely on information alone. They need coaching and accountability, too. So now I've told you how the whole system works. I've shown you how you can underscore. I've shown you that you only need underscore to make this all work. But you know what? To be successful with this, you're going to need more than information alone. I know you can be successful with this system, but you're going to need coaching. You will have questions that need answering. And you might need help in the accountability department, too. Let me tell you, I take my job as a coach very seriously. I won't let you quit on yourself. We will get through everything together. I can't do that with just a few videos and some PDFs. Information alone won't cut it. My success rate when people go at this by themselves is almost 0%. But my success rate for those who work with me is closer to %. If information were enough, then you could have just turned to Google. You need a guide who has been there before, who can take you there right now. Money or excuses. The goal of this close is to get them to quit making excuses about why they can't buy. I've been in this business a long time. And I've found there are only two kinds of people. Those who are good at making money, losing weight, etc., and those who are good at making excuses. You can't be both. If you're the one making excuses, I hate to say it, but I think you're going to have a really hard time. The good news is that you get to choose. In this moment, you can choose which type of person you're going to be. Don't be someone who makes excuses, be someone who actually Your two choices. The goal of this close is for them to understand why you are charging so much money, and to make sure they are okay with that. When we were deciding how to price this, we had two choices. The first was to go as cheap as possible and sell as many as we could. Now the problem with that is we would have no real incentive to pile on the value. It would cost us more for those bonuses than the whole course would be worth. Our second choice was to raise the price a little, and give you absolutely everything you need to succeed. They're two choices. The goal for this close is to help them realize they are crazy if they don't invest with you today. The way I see it, you've got two choices. Your first option is to do nothing and not take this leap of faith, which is 100% risk-free. Your second option is to pony up this tiny investment today, compared to all the value you'll get in return, and just give it a shot. See if it'll work for you. If it doesn't, for whatever reason, you get your money back. There's no risk. You have nothing to lose but the stress and headaches. Us versus them. The goal for this close is to call out people as either doers or dabblers. I'm guessing there are two kinds of people listening to me right now. You're either a doer or a dabbler. The dabblers love to sit and listen and learn, but they rarely ever do anything and often look for any excuse not to move forward. Some of you are doers. You're not sure how this is going to work for you, but you see how it's worked for me and for other people, so you have faith that it will work for you as well. And what I've found is that it's the doers who get ahead in life, while the dabblers don't ever really seem to progress. The handhold, this close is where you actually walk them through the sign-up process. When you are ready to change your life, this is what you need to start doing. First, open up a browser window. I don't care if it's Google Chrome, Firefox, Safari. I'm going to open Chrome right now and show you how this works. Type in www.___________________________________________________________________________________ On this page, you're going to see ___________________________________________________________________________________________________h. Then you're going to click here and fill out this form. After that, you'll be taken to this page, where you can create your account. If you have any issues, this link will connect you to my support desk, where ___________ can answer any of your questions. Say goodbye. In this close, I want to show them all the pain that will instantly disappear after they invest. Once you've been through this training and have everything set up, you can say goodbye to the stress of __________________________________________________________________________________ You'll never have to worry about ___________________________________ again. Can you imagine what life will be like when those things have instantly disappeared from your life? What will you do with all the extra time, energy, money, etc.? Now and later, in this close, I want to paint a picture of their life now compared to what it could become if they invest. So I want to paint a picture of where I was before I started with the new opportunity. I struggled with ______________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________h. Life could be like. Ever since new opportunity, I've been able to _______________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________h, and things are amazing. Can you imagine what that would be like? Only excuses. The goal of this close is to call out any excuses that might be keeping them back, and then diffuse them. If you didn't sign up immediately, you're probably thinking one of two things. First, you might be thinking ________________________________________________________________________________________________________ I'm also going to show you how we figured out ______________________________________________________________________________________________ I promise you, by the end of week 1, you'll know exactly how to __________________________________________________________________________ I get that. But I promise you, it's not hard. On week 2, we're going to walk step by step through the whole setup process. I know _____________________________ can be scary, but we'll be there for you. The third reason might be that you think it's too expensive. If that's your reason, I don't know how I can help you. This is an investment and a decision you need to make for yourself. When I invested in learning this process, I paid $________________________________________________________________________________________________________________________within ___________________________________________________________________________________________________________ will actually do it. I want you to know something about me. I'm no one special. I don't have any supernatural gifts or anything. I actually really struggle with _________________________________________________________________________________________________________. And that's what I love about this system. I don't have to worry about that anymore. If you only got, the goal of this close is to show them what they already got for free, and what they can possibly achieve when they invest with you. Okay, so I could stop right here. If I stopped right here and you only got underscore, it would still be worth the investment, right? But you're also getting underscore and underscore and But you're also going to get underscore and I want to make sure that nothing is standing in the way of your success. Close. This close is the final push to get them over the edge. I typically do this one several times during the question and answer section at the end of the webinar. If you're still on the fence, now is the time to open a new browser window. Go to www.underscore_________________________________________________________ and get started. Remember, there is no risk, and we have a 100% money-back guarantee. But the only way for you to know if this is right for you is to get started right now. You can get your account at ____________________________________________________________________________________________________ to you go, 16 closes you can use throughout the stack to help sell your offer. I like to use a close right before I introduce a new element in the stack. Sometimes I'll even use 2 or 3 closes in between elements. They just flow naturally one into the other. At this point, you know how to deliver a perfect presentation. Now it's time to look at the different funnels you'll use and how you'll work this system week after week. Section 4: The funnels. As we move into Section 4, let's look at how far you've come. You've started your own mass movement by identifying your attractive character, creating your future-based cause, and creating your new opportunity. You've learned how to create belief by telling stories the right way. You've built out a sales presentation that tells your stories in a way that will create intense desire for people to buy into your new opportunity. And you've learned to create a stack that will cause them to take action. The next step is getting the right people to come into a selling environment where you can deliver your message and encourage people to follow you into your new opportunity. You do that by creating sales funnels using a software tool called ClickFunnels and then filling those funnels with qualified prospects. That's what this next section is all about. It's the fuel for your fire. When you master this piece, you'll have a constant stream of people to share your message with. Secret number 17. The perfect webinar model. For those who have been in this information business for a while, this next section will be counterintuitive. You will fight me on it, because in the past you've made money by creating an offer, selling it to your audience, then creating another product the next month to sell to those same people. When I tell you that you need to do the exact same webinar every week for the next 12 months, minimum, you're going to think I'm crazy. Yet this model took my company from $0 to $10 million within 12 months, and then to $30 million just 12 months later. For the first 10 years of my business, I focused on building a culture of people who loved what I did. Then I stopped bringing in new people. I had my following and I would sell them something new each month. A percentage of the people would buy and the rest would say no. The only way I could make more money the following month was to create a new product and sell it to the same list of people. So we'd create a new product, launch it, get paid, then start all over again for the next month. This is how most experts run their businesses these days. For me, this was a horrible cycle, which forced me to create new things every month. I had no leverage, and my company always maxed out at about $1 to $3 million a year. Then one day I had a chance to talk to one of my friends, Mary Ellen Tribby. Mary Ellen has a unique ability to take companies that are doing well and quickly scale them to much higher profitability. One of her successes was with a company called Weiss Research. She took them from $11 million in sales to $67 million in just 12 months. She had similar results with several other companies. I asked her to share her secret. How could she possibly grow a company that fast? She said, Internet marketers like you are so smart and so dumb at the same time." I was a little shocked, but she had my interest. "What do you mean?" She went on to say that what we do each month is the equivalent of creating a Broadway show. You hire the best screenwriters in the world. You hire the best actors. You practice for months, then you open the show in downtown Boise, Idaho. Because that's where you happen to live, and you spend a month promoting it. You open the show to a sold-out crowd and they give you a standing ovation. That night after the show is done, you pull everything down and start writing your next play to open next month in the same auditorium in Boise. I kinda laughed nervously, then asked, "Okay, then what should I be doing? What would you do differently?" "I take companies like yours that have an awesome show in Boise, I take them on the road. I take that show to Chicago, to New York, to LA, and I keep running it until it stops making money." I realized then and there what I was doing wrong. I needed to learn how to take my show on the road. In other words, learn how to drive more traffic to the same webinar every week. After I understood the principle, I sketched out a model, and told my team I was going to stick to this model for the next 12 months. This is what it looked like. This model is based on a live event schedule. My favorite day to do webinars is Thursday, because then I have adequate time to promote it during the week. I start my promotions on Monday and keep pushing hard until Thursday before the webinar. I send emails. I drive Facebook ads. I work with joint venture partners, and a whole bunch of other activities that drive traffic to my sign-up page. Whatever I can do to get people onto this live event, I do. When the webinar starts, I stop all promotion because the rest of the week is about converting those prospects into buyers. Every market is different, but I like to spend only $3 to $5 per webinar registrant. If the costs are getting above that, then my landing page isn't right, my message isn't interesting, I'm targeting the wrong people, or something else is off. As your costs climb higher into the $7 to $8 range, it becomes challenging to stay profitable on the front end. Here are my personal goals for this funnel each week. Your goals may be different, but this will give you an idea what to shoot for. $3 per registrant, 1,000 registrants per week, $3,000 ad spend, 25% show-up rate, 250 people. 10% close rate at $997, 25 sales/$25,000. Double sales on follow-up replays, additional $25,000. With that formula, I'm putting $3,000 a week into ads and making back $50,000 a week in sales, while adding 1,000 new people to my list. Those are the goals each week. Some weeks, we don't get the full 1,000 registered, other times we'll get 2,500 people or more. But setting that as the goal and doing a webinar every week, yes, the same webinar over and over again, is the recipe for new consistent leads and cash flow into your company. So each week I do a live webinar selling people on my new opportunity. I spend Monday through Thursday morning promoting that webinar to get as many people as possible to show up on Thursday night. I present the webinar live on Thursday night and make my special offer. Then I show replays on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. At midnight Sunday, I take down the offer for those who had registered. Then I start again on Monday filling my event for the upcoming Thursday. That's it. That's the whole model. The next question I get from people when I explain this to them live is, "But Russell, inside of ClickFunnels, I can create an automated webinar. Can't I just automate this so I don't have to do it live every week?" And my answer is yes, eventually, but right now, you have to do it live. I recommend presenting the webinar live a few dozen times, at least, before you ever automate it, and here's why. My Funnel Hacks presentation has made me over $10 million within the first year. The first time I delivered it, I did it at a live seminar and was able to close 33% of the people in the room. Not too shabby, right? The next day, as I was leaving the event, one of the attendees who heard the presentation told me she loved it, but since she was a coach and didn't have a supplement to sell, she couldn't use ClickFunnels. I gave her a puzzled look. She pointed out that all the examples I had showed were people selling supplements, but she didn't have one. I told her that I use ClickFunnels for my coaching business, and showed her a few of my funnels. She got so excited, she ran back into the event and grabbed 2 of her friends. They all filled out order forms and handed them to me before I left the hotel. I closed 3 people who hadn't signed up before. This interaction showed that my presentation wasn't perfect. So on my flight home, I tweaked it by adding a few more slides showing different funnels and giving examples of how other industries can use ClickFunnels. The next week, I did the presentation live to about 600 entrepreneurs on a webinar. When it was over, we had sold about $30,000, which wasn't too bad. But I knew it should have been more. I had to deliver the webinar again in a few hours to another group of entrepreneurs, so I tweaked it again. I exported all the questions people had asked, reviewed them, then changed my slides based on the questions they had during my presentation. I saw all the spots where I had explained things wrong or didn't give enough detail or flat out missed things people actually wanted. 4 hours later, I delivered this revised presentation to about 500 entrepreneurs, and this time we sold $120,000 live. I repeated this same process 60+ times over the next 12 months, doing a live webinar, exporting questions, and adjusting the presentation. It's probably why one of my friends and conversion experts, Joe Lavery, said this after watching my presentation. So yes, eventually I will suggest that you automate the webinar, but not at first. You need to get people's feedback, make changes, and perfect your webinar. It's more work, but the result could be worth tens of millions of dollars to you over time. Now I'm sure some of you saw that I'm spending over $3,000 per week on Facebook alone to get people into my webinar, and got a little nervous. Don't worry about that now. In secret number 22, I will be showing you ways to fill your funnel with the right people who are ready to buy. There are methods, like the Facebook strategy, that cost money, but there are other ways that you can get people to attend your webinars for free. When you are spending money, start with a lower ad budget at first. Run your webinar a few times to get the kinks out and know what conversion rates to expect. Then you can spend more money on ads because you'll know what kind of return to expect. In the beginning, all kinds of things could happen. Facebook could mess up your ads. Your webinar software could fail to record or function right. You could lose power in the middle of your broadcast. Things happen. Sometimes no one even shows up at all. It's important not to get discouraged. Stick to the plan, and work it week in and week out. The beginning can be rough for some people. Don't quit. It won't be long before you start hitting consistent numbers. Now that you know the model, let's take a look at the funnel you'll be using to move people from registration through the purchase. Step 1. Send traffic to the webinar registration page. Coming up in secret number 22, fill your funnel. I'll show you how to get people into your funnel, but for now let's look at the actual funnel itself, starting with the registration page. I wanted to share a few things you should do on your registration page to get the most people to register. The key to a high-converting webinar registration page is curiosity. That's it. If your registration page isn't converting well, it's because you're showing people too much and they assume they know the answer. If they think they know what you're going to talk about, then they won't register or show up. If they can't figure out what it is without registering, then you'll get them to register and show up. The headline I showed you earlier, how to underscore 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 without underscore 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 is typically the key to getting people to register. Here is an example of the type of headline I used on my Funnel Scripts webinar. Sometimes I tweak my headline to increase the curiosity factor. This is the main registration page we used the first year for the Funnel Hacks webinar. I want you to notice a few things about this page. 1. The picture makes no sense. When you look at it, you have no idea what it is or why I'm doing it. It arouses curiosity. Find a picture of you that's kinda related to the topic but kinda strange to help increase your conversions dramatically. I do not recommend putting video on a webinar registration page. Rarely, if ever, will it beat a strange image. But if you do a video, be sure to test the page without a video as well. 2. The headline builds a ton of curiosity. My weird niche funnel that's currently making me $17,947 per day, and how you can ethically knock it off in less than 10 minutes. This headline gives you a hint about the presentation, but it leaves so many unanswered questions. What niche is it? Is it really possible to make $17,947 per day? Can you really ethically knock it off? How? In just 10 minutes. 3. The page uses urgency and scarcity. Nothing gets people to act, register, show up, and buy better than urgency and scarcity. These are your secret weapons, use them. Step 2. Send registrants to a thank you page with a self-liquidating offer. After people register, we take them to a thank you page where we give them the basic information for the webinar. On this page, I do like to include a video with me talking about why I'm so excited for the webinar. They need to feel my passion for the subject or they won't show up. Remember, the registration page is about curiosity. The thank you page is about your passion and excitement for what they are about to experience on the webinar. One of the biggest secrets about the thank you page is that you can, and should, use it to sell people something. We call this a self-liquidating offer, or SLO. There are a few reasons you want to include this offer here. 1. Self-liquidating offer means it liquidates your ad costs. That's right, often you can completely cover your ad costs from the product you offer on your thank you page. That means everything you sell on the webinar is pure profit. 2. If they buy something that complements what the webinar is about, they are more likely to show up live. 3. Buyers in motion tend to stay in motion, unless you do something to offend them. That means if they buy from you before the webinar, they are a lot more likely to buy from you on the webinar. I like my SLO offers to be lower ticket, usually $37 to $47 or a free, or $1, trial to a membership site. When we launched the Funnel Hacks webinar, we decided to give away a free trial to ClickFunnels on the thank you page. Honestly, it was more of an afterthought, but we did it anyway. Looking at the stats from the first year of following this model, more than 15,000 people have created ClickFunnels trials from that link, and over 4,500 are still active. If you do the math, we have over $450,000 a month in recurring cash coming in just from our thank you page. Step 3. Send a series of indoctrination emails. Between the time someone registers for the webinar to the time you deliver it live, there are about 10 million distractions that could keep them from showing up. If you're not careful, the people you paid for with advertising won't remember who you are by Thursday. So during the in-between time, I send registrants videos to help introduce them to my philosophy, get them excited about the webinar, and pre-sell them. For me, each of the videos is pre-selling them on one of my 3 secrets. Remember, each of the 3 secrets is tied to a false belief pattern. So I make a video talking about that belief pattern, and then tell them that the webinar will help them discover why that isn't true, and why the opposite is actually true. Don't answer the questions, just increase the curiosity for what they're going to learn on the webinar. The main concern people share with this sequence is, but what if they register on Wednesday and they only get 1 or 2 of the indoctrination emails before the webinar? Here's the thing, the indoctrination sequence is not essential to the sale. It's an amplifier. If they only see 1 video and then they attend the webinar, that's okay. Videos the 2nd and the 3rd of May come after the webinar, and that's fine. Don't stress about it. Oftentimes one of the indoctrination emails is the thing that gets them to watch a replay or to purchase after the webinar is over. Step 4. Send reminders. The reminders start on Wednesday. Just send quick emails and / or text messages that say something like, "Hey, don't forget we're talking about ____________________ live tomorrow at _________________________________________________________. People don't always read every email, so I like to send one the day before we go live, one the morning of the webinar, one an hour or so before we start, another about 15 minutes before, then a final one that says, "We're live, join us." Step 5. Present the webinar live. I like to present my webinars on Thursdays. Others might prefer Tuesdays or Wednesdays, but that matters less than following the pre-webinar indoctrination series, the perfect webinar script, and the follow-up sequences. For the actual webinar, here are a few things to keep in mind. 1. The webinar should be about 90 minutes long. The first 60 minutes, you focus on breaking and rebuilding their false belief patterns. This is typically the hardest part for people to get right. They try to teach, they try to share cool stuff, and they don't understand why they don't get lots of sales. The core teaching is identifying their false belief patterns. If you do this right, the product will sell easily. If you do it wrong, you'll struggle. Review the perfect webinar section a dozen times until you master the section on belief patterns. 2. The last 30 minutes is the pitch. You deliver that with the stack, and add in the closes. When the 90 minutes is over, I usually spend the remaining 15 to 30 minutes for Q&A, closing people. Between each question. 3. The best time of day for your webinar depends a lot on your market. I schedule my webinars during the day because most people in my market are entrepreneurs who usually have more freedom over their schedules during the day. Other markets where people have 9 to 5 jobs usually require nighttime webinars. So when you present the webinar will depend on your particular audience. 4. I like presenting my live webinars on gotowebinar.com. Some of my friends use Webinar Jam or other software. Each system has pros and cons, so you have to figure out what's best for you. 5. Typically, about 25% of the registrants show up on the webinar. If fewer than 25% attend, focus more on the indoctrination sequence, sending text message reminders before the webinar, emails 1 hour before the webinar, and again 15 minutes before. You've paid a lot of money to get them registered, and you're going to have to push hard to get them to show up. 6. When I transition from the content to the pitch, I check how many people are still on the webinar, and I base my closing stats on that number. So if I have 250 people who are still on the webinar when I start the pitch at the 60-minute mark, and I know that I typically close 15%, I'll probably make about $37,500. What will your close rate be? At first, it will probably be pretty low. That's why you need to do it live so many times. When you have a 5% close rate, you have a good webinar and are likely going to be profitable on the front end. When you get it to 10%, then, I believe, you have $1 million a year webinar. When you get above 10%, well, I'll just say that at 15%, we did just shy of $10 million the first year. So it pays to keep refining your conversion rates by tweaking and presenting live presentations. Step 6. Send follow-ups and create last-minute urgency. As soon as a webinar is over, we shift focus to the replay campaign. Some people get really intense with their replay campaigns, but the basics are urgency and scarcity. That's what gets people to take action. I usually double my sales between the time I end the webinar and when we close down the offer. Sunday at midnight. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday you will deliver follow-up emails including the webinar replay link. The first day, I talk about what a great response we had on the live call and offer them a chance to watch the replay, if they access it quickly. When the cart closes, the replay link disappears as well. Sometimes in my follow-up sequence I'll send a PDF cheat sheet, similar to Cliff's Notes, that briefly summarizes what we covered in the webinar or even a PDF version of my slides so they can see what we covered in the webinar. Some people are more visual learners who prefer to read text over watching a video. People are busy and they may not have time to go watch your 90-minute presentation, but they will scan over your PDF. In this email, I also remind them that the offer is only live until Sunday. These few days are all about amping up the urgency and scarcity. If people think they have all the time in the world to buy, they won't. On the last day, I send a couple of emails reminding them that the cart closes at midnight. I recap the main reasons they should buy and leave it at that. It's amazing how many people will hit the buy button 1 minute before midnight. Step 7. Close the cart. Sunday at midnight, it's time to close the cart. The offer is done, and the buy buttons are deactivated. That's it. You've completed your perfect webinar funnel. Repeat. Monday morning, you start all over again with step 1, driving traffic. Each time you go through this process, you will improve. You'll figure out different ways of presenting that get more people to buy. You'll answer more questions. You'll fine-tune your ad targeting. The point is to never stop after one try, especially if you had disappointing results. No one showed up for Liz Benny's first live webinar. She had a few hundred people registered, yet for some reason no one showed up. She had spent months preparing, and not a single soul attended. But she didn't give up. She kept refining her process. And she wound up making just over $1 million in her first year. Would that be okay with you? If you knew you could make 6 or 7 figures in a year, would you keep going in the face of disappointment? Yeah. Me, too. What happens if you get great results from your first live webinar? Should you automate it and move on to something else? No. This is a huge mistake people make, automating too soon. I ran the funnel hacking webinar 60+ times before we finally decided to automate it. 1 full year of the same webinar, week in and week out. Some weeks I did it 5 or 6 times. In fact, to this day I still do it live a few times a month. By the time we finally automated it, that presentation was as tight as it could be. We had every objection covered. We knew exactly how to get traffic. We had just the right follow-up sequences. And now it's all down to the numbers. Because we spent so much time perfecting the webinar, we get predictable results from the automated version. So the last step is to repeat your webinar. Again and again. Run it every week for a full year, and watch what happens to your bank account and your expert status. Secret number 18. The 4-question close for high-ticket offers. The webinar process and the perfect webinar script you've just learned works really well for offers between $297 and $2,997. But when you're selling more expensive offers, you need to add another step. Instead of just sending people to an order form, send them to a page where they fill out an application. Then get on the phone and interview them to see if they'd be a good fit for the program. This works for 2 reasons. Reason number 1, it's much easier to sell a $2,997 to $100,000 program on the phone. That extra step helps people feel more comfortable paying the higher dollar amounts. Reason number 2, at the higher level programs, you are typically going to be working more closely with people. You can screen them to make sure you'll enjoy working with them. If they aren't a good fit, then don't accept them into your programs. In .com Secrets, I shared a 2-step phone script that works really well when you have salespeople working for you. For that script to work, you need 2 people, a setter and a closer. It works amazingly well, but only when the expert isn't the one on the phone. At least in the beginning, you will be doing these sales calls yourself, and for that I recommend a completely different script. The 4-question close script. I learned various parts of this strategy from a few different people. Dan Sullivan wrote a book called The Question, which this whole script is based on. Perry Belcher coached a few of my friends through the script, and Greg Kasser coached me and my inner circle through the process. Even though this is called the 4-question close script, it's more like a 4-phase script. There are 4 primary questions, but you will be asking follow-up questions to dig deeper and get more complete answers. Before prospects get on the phone with you, they fill out an application form so you can pre-qualify them. Then you should have an assistant contact them to set up a 30-minute call. Once you're on the call, most people will want to open with small talk. That invites them to ramble on and waste time. You don't want that. You want to set yourself up as the one running the call right from the start. So you're going to say, "Hey, this is Russell and I'm excited to be on the call with you. So here's how these calls work. I'm going to ask you 4 questions. Depending on how you answer them and how well we get along, we'll decide whether to move forward. Sound fair enough?" They should answer yes, or the call can end right there. You're getting a micro-commitment here, a little yes right at the start. You're also setting the ground rules so you can steer the conversation where you want it to go. Once they agree, it's time to start asking the questions. Imagine you and I were to start working together today. I teach you everything I know and do everything I can to help you get results. Now imagine we're sitting in a coffee shop a year from now. What would have happened in your life, both personally and professionally, for you to feel happy with your progress? What would make you believe that this was the best decision you ever made? You're trying to get them to describe their external and internal goals here. You want to hear their true desires. If they can't answer this question, you don't want to work with them because you'll never be able to satisfy them. No matter how much you accomplish, and no matter how much they pay you, if they can't articulate their desires, then you won't be able to make them a reality. Most likely, they'll start by describing external desires.